and welcome to another episode of the Roll-Wise Show, the place where we play games and talk about games and do stuff like that. Today, we're going to be continuing our cooperative gameplay into the Ironlands using the system Ironsworn. This is a two-party game. We're still waiting for Brent a little bit longer. He's doing pretty good, but it might be a little bit longer before he's able to come back to the show. But we are going to forge on. And right now, our current poison of choice is Ironsworn. And it's a good poison. Honestly, it's made me think of a lot of things about how we play games, and just, like last session we had, against all odds, we ended up in a place that I would have never predicted us ending up. And that was all dice rolls that really led us there, which is kind of a nice outcome. That's nice when the dice get to tell part of that story so much more than just, oh, did you roll the dice that fit the story in the book? No? Fuck. I got to figure out how this works now.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's like creativity each day. So, so are you ready then?
I'm ready. We're close to almost dead, so I think it's far more likely that we die than that we succeed and finish the quest.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a brutal episode last time. We have our two heroes. I play Aelfred and he plays Knut. And we had basically decided to forge on. We had broken our oath going into the Varu lands. And we were punished for it pretty much right away. In most symbolically odd way I think we could have. In so much as that by, once we entered into the Varu lands, we actually missed one of our undertake a journey, and we had paid the price. And the price was we ran into some bonewalkers. And those of you that are aware of how Ironsworn works, we'll explain it for those that don't, I guess. Bonewalkers are basically a foe that's a horror, and they are pretty much shambling skeletons kind of thing. We had determined that these were the shambling skeletons of at least of Jeff's ancestors. And so it caught him a little flat-footed. And what seemed to be a fight that was going in our favor, ultimately we failed at. Last minute, Jeff made the most unlikely of rolls, rolling both a 9 and a 10 against our end the fight progress, which needed anything but a 9
or a 10. Yeah, I needed 8s or lower.
Needed 8s or lower, and boom, just crushed that roll. So we left we defeated by the bonewalkers. Jeff lost his sword given to him by his mentor, a treasured item. We got lost, leaving most of our camping gear, fleeing the bonewalkers, who are obviously not going to let us pack up and leave, in an orderly fashion. We fled through the night. We're battered, broken, lost, confused, and we kind of need to take a moment to regain our senses and reset ourselves. We did heal a little bit we did heal Jeff a little bit so that he wasn't like dead weight, but he's but now he's just more of a heavy paperweight than dead weight.
Yeah, so it's not good.
So I think that's the story as we know it so far. So Jeff, what were your thoughts kind of coming into this new session? I feel like it's we were two people that were probably more. There's a lot of hubris going into this journey.
Sure.
You swore an oath. I swore an oath, to support my friend. We went off into the Varu lands, and the gods don't like oath breakers, apparently.
Yeah, no, apparently. We were full of piss and vinegar and sure that we were going to be able to succeed where the rest of our tribe had failed. Mm-hmm. We were gonna be able to do that, and so far we haven't. And now we are lost, and essentially, in my mind, beginning our journey again from a location that we don't know where it is. We also don't fully know where we're going. We're going to wander around in ever expanding concentric circles until we find some sort of evidence of the Varu.
No, wait, I don't think we need to go that far. I think there's some. I think we have some
Oh,
ideas
we
here.
know if we
And
head west, we'll eventually hit the sea, and then we'll be able to follow the coastline home.
we hope.
But we'll be
W-
returning failed, you know.
and that's always an option. I think
It is.
narratively, like there's an option that basically says, oh, well, we went to the Varu lands and there were the undead walking. We probably need more supplies before we try this again.
Or
So
supplies and a
I
small
think
army.
I think that's a route we could take. I don't know if my
It's an
character is
option.
ready to give up our, and turn tail at this point. He's a little bit. Well, I guess he's not as hurt as you are, first and foremost, but second, he's a little bit stubborn and will probably go until it's probably a little too late. Um,
Well, yeah.
Being that it's a sworn oath to do it. So I mean, it's an option, but I'm not sure he's
No,
ready
it's
to take
it's
the
it's an
option.
option, but I still think that encountering the Varu with a smaller party that doesn't look like you're not only breaking the oath, you're
Mhm.
invading. You know, like I figure
It,
with two, they may listen to us. They may kill us on sight. I don't know.
you
But
know,
if we run into any more beasts
bonewalkers.
out here, we're gonna have to run or die.
So this
Oh,
is what my thought process is, right?
okay.
So I was looking at the moves and just kind of getting an idea as to, what what suggestions I could come up with for
Hmm.
maybe what would be helpful here is that first and foremost, kind of going back and looking at the summaries I have for the sessions, I think that there's an asset that you have that I don't know if we're utilizing as much as we should.
You're talking about the
Um,
hawk.
I am. I am talking about the hawk. And the reason I'm thinking about the hawk is because your hawk can aid while it's aloft, and you chose which one? You chose farseeing or fierce or vigilant?
Hang on, I wrote it down. I chose far seeing.
So farseeing is you can help resupply when hunting for a small game, adding a +1. Um, so there is a there
Yeah, we
is
can
a
do that.
there's a little bit to be said there because I
There
feel
is.
like I feel like first and foremost you need a weapon. Like we're in hostile lands. Obviously, there are these bone walkers. I feel like giving you this spear that I have would be better than me using the spear, assuming you're not absolutely debilitated.
No, I don't think I'm debilitated. And I mean, I probably trained with other weapons. I probably
Hmm.
specialized in the sword, but
Yeah.
you're not always going to have your weapon of choice available in a fight. I mean, I've got a knife, but I don't know what like a
Hmm. Well,
I
because
don't
because
know how
weapons
much help that's going to be.
weapons don't. I mean, it feels like weapons either you have a weapon or you don't have a weapon, right? In this game, and if you have a weapon, it feels like it does, damage. But if you happen to have the talent, it then does even more
Even
damage,
more,
right?
right? And yeah,
And
my
so,
all with my sword. So I think whether I have the spear or my knife, I think we're still okay.
mhm. And because I chose what did I chose as my two assets here? One second. I chose combat talent skirmisher with a spear. Um, I
Well,
don't know
if you
why.
have a talent that uses it, you should keep the spear, and I'll just keep the knife.
Well, no, because it's my current thing is when I face danger by holding a foe at bay with your spear's reach, then I can roll plus
Oh,
iron or edge. And so it's not really. I mean, it's helpful to keep them away, but not helpful for damage.
okay.
So I think this is where we'd get into the what counts as a weapon kind of thing because I feel like I could have my character would have a sling or something for hunting because he does have the Wild Blood, which is pretty much like when I face danger, secure an advantage, or gather information using knowledge of tracking woodcraft or woodland creatures at a +1. Um,
Okay.
and basically I have a path, which is an improviser. When if I do, I have a way to make do with a clever solution. So I could, um, I feel like there's a way narratively that I would have a sling or something I could use that would be
Okay.
a suitable alternative. Not something weak, but obviously something that I
All right. I'll
originally
take
had
the
planned to
spear.
hunt with. You know,
I'll
kind
take
of
the
give.
spear. You either improvise a sling or just work like I don't think it would be weird to have one. You
Mhm.
know, I don't think that feels out of place.
It doesn't feel weird, right? So I feel like it's an okay
No,
thing
you're
to
not
do.
picking up a heavy crossbow like they just suddenly
Just one of those things where all of a sudden I like look
reached
at a
into
tree
your
like,
bag.
this tree looks perfect for a bow, and I just kind of pluck it and
Yeah, exactly, right.
no. So okay, well if you're okay with that, then I'll give you the spear.
Okay,
And then it's a basic spear. Obviously, it's just
sure.
something that I would have been given as part of my kit to leave the village not unarmed. Um, I think that so here's a few things. So first of all, our supply is low. Second of all,
Yes,
your health is low. Third of all, we don't know where we are. So which of those three is your highest priority?
we should resupply first, I
Okay.
think. Cuz we did heal right before the end of the last session. And you can do you do that once a day or do you get some back? I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I don't remember how often you get how often the healing impacts you.
Yeah, it says use what's appropriate to your injuries. I would say that in this case that we did the immediate heal. I would feel comfortable with you healing more thoroughly if we just made camp, if that makes
Okay.
sense. And
Yeah.
so cuz when you make camp, you can take a health for you and your companion. So that might be that we just find a rock, find a small group of trees and
A safe place, a place that makes sense to build a camp, right?
Mhm.
It's a little bit of shelter, semi defensible, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And of course, when you make camp, if you miss, then you can pay the price. So I envision that would be us being harried by the undead still. Like we go to make
Possibly.
camp,
No,
and
that
all of
would
a
be
sudden we hear
awful.
like, "Ugh."
I just hear my own sword being drug against all the rocks.
Oh geez. I mean at this point can we leave a question mark as to the status of your sword, whether it was broken or lost or whatever? I think
Sure.
lost is fair. I mean,
No, I think at this point it's lost. Whether the undead are using it or not, sure they could be. I don't know.
okay.
They seem to have
So
They seem to. In my mind, they were kind of armed last time.
mhm. Yeah, now they're better
So
armed.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
new
so we should
sword.
we should try to make camp and then we should resupply.
Okay. So, do you want to use your hawk to resupply, or because that seems
Yeah,
like what your hawk
I want to
is
use my
good
hot.
for?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay,
We
so why don't
definitely
you
want to
do
use
the
the bonus.
yeah? So why don't you use the hawk for
The resupply.
the resupply, and I'll roll. I mean, we roll to make camp, right? So let me see here. Make camp. Um, yeah, because if you roll
1d6
and get a supply, then
is
we can make camp better.
yeah, is there a stat associated with resupply as well or is that wits?
Yeah, there is. Just a second. Resupply is when you hunt, forage, scavenge, roll plus wits.
Okay. So my wits is a 1, so I'm going to take +2 by adding the hawk to it just cuz it's easier than a +1 kind of
Okay.
situation. 2d10. All right. I rolled a 4, and the 2d10 were a 5 and a 1, so it is a weak hit.
Okay. So on a weak hit, you can take up to 2 supply, but you suffer -1 momentum for each. So in this case, what is your momentum at?
4.
So
I think I'm going to go
hypothetically,
down to 2
I
and
mean, that
take
puts you at
supply up.
base. You know, that's your basic.
Yeah, I get momentum down to 2 and supply up to. Wait, I go. You're at 2 as well for supply.
I always just assumed it was the um,
Supply.
yeah, it was a group supply.
Okay, so we're at 4 then.
Okay, that works for me. What is going on here? Ooh, how exciting! Getting unpredictable screen flashes.
Oh, fun.
Ooh, from here you go, OBS. Let's go to town. Okay, so then we'll take a supply of 4, and then in this case, um, reading this, I don't actually think it would. I don't know if the asset would help here. So the asset. Path Wildblood. When you face danger, secure an advantage or gather information using your knowledge of tracking woodcraft or woodland creatures. Blood +1.
I don't know. Finding a camping spot seems like woodcraft to me.
When you check your gear, you may roll plus wits instead of plus supplies. Check your gear as separate. Is that a separate? What is? What is check your gear?
I don't remember what check your gear is off the top of my head.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Well, I must have taken that down wrong then. Just a second, because I was like, "Let's check your gear."
Which asset is this, Mike? The wild thing?
Yeah, it's improviser.
Improviser. Let me look. It's check your gears in italics on that card. You may roll wits instead of supply. Envision how you make way with a clever situation and take +1 momentum on a hit.
Huh. I wonder what they mean by that. Check your gear is not mentioned in the rule book at all. So neat.
Really?
Yeah. So I wonder if there's a.
That's the advanced class.
I don't know.
We're not ready for the advanced class, Mike.
Okay. So according to Sean Tompkin, so the improviser asset, check your gear move, but I don't see that move in the rule book. Somebody else asked this 6 years ago. This is a reference to soon to be published expansion called Delve. Whoops.
Okay, so we're not playing with Delve.
No. So
just fine. So we don't have check your gear. That's not a thing that we have.
No,
so that doesn't
that doesn't help me as much. I cannot do the thing that I had expected to do. Whoops. So I might adjust that one, because I kind of thought it was. I mean, unless you want to. I mean, at this point, if we want to just suggest that it's a. Because I could either take. I don't know. I could take Outcast, which would make that. I have it. It has a similarly interesting ability.
That's something about when your supply is reduced to 0.
Yeah. So basically, if our supplies are reduced to 0, it could give us a different outcome. So I think I might. I'll keep that in mind. Let me just roll the plus supply and just say that improviser was maybe not the choice I intended to make, because I didn't fully understand what I was choosing. Sounded like what I wanted it to be was just, instead of this is what I was hoping it would do. So I was hoping that it would allow me, in my mind, I envisioned check gear was just like a camping thing that I could improvise a better solution for camp. Like if I'm being honest, that's what my brain was doing. So, so if there was
do you just want to roll make camp?
Yeah, that's what I was going to roll. Make camp. So you rolled, got 2 supplies, so that puts us up to 4. So now our fuck. This could be. I'll roll this one to see how well we do.
Well, you've been rolling better than I have on average.
Well, that's all going to change today. Okay. Yeah. So my
Totally succeeded.
challenge dice was 5 and a 4. My action dice was a total of 7, meaning that we have a strong success. Now, what that means when you make camp, for people following along, is that when you make camp, you can, on a strong hit, you and your allies may choose 2. On a weak hit, choose 1. So you can recuperate, which is take 1 health for you and any companions. You can partake, which is suffer -1 supply, and you get +1 health for you and your any companions. I'm not sure why the partake is. What the difference between partake?
And then I'll do the. Can we do the first one, and I'll go up to 3 from 2?
Well, you could do because you get 2. On a strong hit, you get 2 of the make camp options.
Oh, we can, and those are the only 2. I thought there was more coming.
Well, so you could take recuperate, which is take 2. You could take a health. You could partake, relax, focus, prepare. So for you, it sounds like because we have a strong hit, we found a great place to camp. So
Okay.
what it seems like we did is we basically found a place that was incredibly defensible, a situation for you to lick your wounds. Now, before going into this, as you know, I basically set up to prepare the place. You went out hunting with your hawk, and your hawk
Yes.
was able to get some small game, maybe something a little bit larger. You know, maybe not just 1 rabbit, but 2 or 3, and we were able to eat our fill of
Okay.
food over a fire.
So my health is up to 4, but our supply is now back down to 3.
Oh, you can. So I don't understand the difference between recuperate.
Well, recuperate just gave me 1 health, and then partake gave me
Well, you
another
can.
one, but at the cost of a supply.
I'm just trying to see here. Oh,
Is
on a
what I
strong
thought you
hit,
said.
choose. Okay, yes. On a strong hit, choose 2 from the list. You may not select a single option more than once. Okay, that makes sense. So I think for me, because I'm at maximum health for myself, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 momentum and prepare. So for when we break our camp, we can undertake a journey. I'll get a +1 for that.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Okay.
so okay, so this is actually, I mean, in terms of bouncing back on our feet, not bad. You know,
Okay. We've licked our wounds fairly well.
yeah. You know, we're
We're
not.
still minus a sword, but that's a
Yeah,
we don't have a forge out here in the forest.
it's just stuff, dude. It's just stuff. You've still got your life. You can
I'm
still.
still mopey about it. I am
Well,
still you
I mean, I
know.
see why you would be mopey, though. Okay. Um. All right. So I think that since we now have healed, we now have you weaponed, and we now have recovered some supply. I mean, really, we've taken care of at least 2 of the 3 that we talked about. Now we just need to find out where the fuck we are, and kind of go from there. And I feel like that.
No, I'm with you.
So it seems like what I might suggest is that one of the moves for journeying is gather information. So this is this is what we use kind of that first day when we set out originally, but I feel like this would be a way for us to gather information about this area and see if we can't reorient ourselves directionally, like, oh, well, the hawk tells us that the fucking Varu village is 18 clicks that way. There's smoke, you can see it from a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
something
No,
like that.
yeah.
So I guess what are your thoughts? That would be my thought. But what do
No,
you?
I think I should try that at the very
Okay.
least. I think I should try that.
And this is where I think the wild blood would help us out. Because I think gathering information using knowledge of tracking woodcraft, woodland creatures, I feel like there's a possible way for that to play together. But what do you think? Does that make sense to you? Do you think? I guess first question is do you think if we were to, would there be a chance that there's Varu in this area? Do you think there's more of those bone
Well,
walkers?
we're in their land, so I think that there's a chance that they're somewhere close.
Okay. And so do you feel like because it's plus wits for me, so
Well, if it's plus wits for you, then you should probably, if it's a plus wits roll, my wits is 1 and yours is higher, so you should probably make the roll.
okay. Well, then I'm going to see if we can't find out what's going on here. All right. D6 plus 3 plus 2. Holy shit. Those 10s are keep on coming. Well, that's okay. So, gather information. On a weak hit, the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover. Ask the Oracle if you're unsure and take +1 momentum. Oh, thank you for that. So, okay.
What kind of complication are you imagining? What complicates our journey?
Well, let's think. So, what complicates our journey? Well, there's a chance that we run into the Varu. That's a complication. Maybe that's a good complication. Maybe it's a bad complication, depending on how.
Yeah, it's kind of our. I mean, it's kind of our goal. So I don't know if I'm fully willing to go to. Like, I'm not saying it's good. Bad could happen. They could just kill us.
Maybe what the complication is that the Bone Walker threat is actually much more dire than we know, and that's our complication. And we get kind of a sub quest as part of.
You mean the Bone Walkers revived an ice dragon out of a lake,
or maybe, or there could be any number of reasons. There could be a reason why what is it? Like, because I wonder if there's something to be said that maybe the complication is the Bone Walkers. These tracks lead us away from our goal for now, but I mean, would your character feel strongly enough that he has to put these restless dead down? Like, I mean, what is our thought process on these horrors? Because I kind of felt like the horrors, everyone kind of talked about them and all that stuff, but they're unnatural. Like, would we? No,
they are. We don't know what raised them. But I think if we thought that it was the same ones that attacked us, I would want to try to ambush them and get my sword back.
Okay.
I think I'm brash and foolhardy.
So I mean, there is so rather than just be purely negative, if this is an opportunity for us to A, get your sword back, B, I mean, if these Bone Walkers are not natural enough that even the Varu would not like them, maybe this is an act of goodwill that, we're putting to rest the dead that are wandering their lands. I mean, I don't know why they would be wandering. I mean, there could be a greater horror causing them to wander, which would suck because we would be walking into that. Or it could be maybe there's a rogue Varu or something like that. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
So you feel like the stumbling upon Bone Walker tracks would be enough to maybe sidetrack us from our current mission, because you would feel strongly enough about getting your sword. We don't know
where we're going anyhow unless the hawk returned something. If we knew of a Varu presence, then I think that takes precedent.
Okay.
But if we get, I don't know, I really want that sword back.
Okay. Well, then maybe that's our complication. We're actually not going on our way to the Varu settlement now. We've kind of sidetracked into getting your sword back and possibly taking out some Bone Walkers, maybe a little bit more cautiously this time, instead of just having them wander upon our camp.
Yeah. Oh, hey, they're in camp. We're dead.
Okay. So, at this point, it's going to be make. I would assume. So let's decide how hard of a journey is this going to be. So,
If we have tracks, I would say it's probably troublesome or dangerous.
okay. So why don't we make this a troublesome? Because it sounds. I mean, I don't want this to be. I
Well,
don't
I
want
don't.
this.
I don't necessarily think like the bonewalkers are trying to hide their tracks. Like,
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, in terms of distance, I don't want this to be like
okay,
40 waypoints of travel. Oh,
right?
we follow
No,
the
that's the other thing, right?
yeah.
They have to be. I don't know. I don't know if they have camps, but whatever they do,
Mhm.
it's in this area. Somebody raised them to do something in this area. So, all right,
Yep.
troublesome.
Okay. So you've got a spear, I've got a sling, we've got some bone walkers that kicked our ass last time. Um
Definitely.
so we've got a troublesome journey we're going to undertake here. And just for people that are following along and all that kind of stuff, when you undertake a journey and you're traveling across hazardous or unfamiliar land, we're going to set the rank of our journey, which is troublesome. So we'll get 3 progress per waypoint. And so if people remember, you get a progress bar. And so every waypoint that we achieve as we do these journeys, we'll get 3 total progress. And we'll use that progress to reach our destination. And so that's a progress move. So on this one, because I took the prepare for a journey option, I feel like
Yes.
I can make um, a good first roll of it because we do this on wits plus the 1. So what do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. And this is where we love Ironsworn is that
You honestly, you just never know. Like
you just don't fucking know if
you
this
got
is
to
gonna.
beat both of those dice. And it isn't easy. You beat neither. That is a failure
Mm,
because you got a 6 and they're a 9 and a 6, and the tie does not go to us.
nope. Tie does not go to us.
Ouch.
We were just talking about the unpredictability of this.
No, we
Mm,
were, and
it just
actually, it's one of the things that I like because it keeps the dice rolls inject plot twists.
so what is the most obvious, because I mean right now we're just on our way to the waypoint, right? We haven't even gotten to the danger yet. So we're waylaid by a perilous event on the way to the danger. What
I
is an
know.
obvious negative outcome? Because I don't have one. I was expecting to at least get a couple waypoints in before I hit some negative outcomes, but such are the dice rolls.
I don't know. Following the path too tight, like rock slidey type thing, falling down a hill, and
Hmm.
losing the path, like not being able, like, oh, this is really easy to follow, and a quarter mile later, you're like, uh, and we take a wrong turn. We take that right turn at Albuquerque instead of the left.
Hmm.
I don't know.
So yeah,
What are
I'm
you
just trying.
thinking?
I mean, the only obvious outcome is that we get lost. We're just like the worst at this.
Hey, man, I looked at the map, and this place looked simple to understand.
It
Some
was just like,
hills, a couple of streams, a little bit of
mhm.
scrub forest, and then now, like, this is like, you know, it's not at all like the map, especially when we don't have any idea where we are on it.
um, let's see.
You want to
I
consult the
feel
oracle?
I'm debating it, but I'm thinking that I think this is a good time I don't know. What does spirit have to do in this game? Like there's the idea of spirit, right? So let's go to spirit and see how this affects, because I feel like there's a chance here that this does something to our spirit, right? So spirit current mental state is reduced when you endure stress. It is increased when you find comfort and companionship. Um, okay. So is that something that makes sense for us to endure stress? I feel like that seems like it might be the
On a miss, like there's like strange discoveries or supernatural events. Is this the time
Mhm.
to bring the big iron poles into it?
Ooh, could be. I think that's a good idea. Bringing the
Like we witness something that we just can't explain. Like the pole like lights up and crackles with energy, searing a
okay.
rabbit that runs by. And it's something, doesn't have to be
Yeah.
lightning. It could
No,
be.
no, no. Could the pole could the iron obelisk thing, whatever they're called, could that be a source, I guess?
Could be a source.
Because what did we have for the obelisks? We had um
Um, inscrutable metal pillars. I didn't write down everything. I wrote down the first few words.
yeah, it says inscrutable metal pillars are found throughout the lands. They are iron gray and smooth as river stone. No one knows their purpose. Some say they're as old as the world, such as the Iron Priests worship them and swear vows upon them, making the warding sign along their way if they happen across one. Pillars do not tarnish, and even the sharpest blade cannot mar them. I wonder if there's like, I mean, I hate to borrow from like a video game, but like Oblivion, Oblivion had the portal ways, and I think that even The Witcher had something like that, right? With the obelisks or something. Isn't that Witcher?
It could have. It,
Is there a way for it to be a conduit for things unknown, I guess? So maybe that's
well,
the
it could be. It could be anything that we want. It could, pulse with magical energy. Like I said, it could conduct electricity.
could be inhabited by one of the new gods. It's just like, ooh, look at this thing. This thing is cool.
It
Hmm.
could.
Okay, so let's see. No, I think you're onto something. Let's do something with the pillars,
Okay.
and let's should it be more ominous or should it be more?
I think it could be ominous or just confusing because we're ignorant of like everybody treats them like they're bad omens. Nobody wants to go near them. There's all kinds of wild stories that people claim are 100% true that nobody can verify.
Uh,
I was passing one at night on a lonely path, and saw this, and everybody's like, if that was happening, we'd all know, kind of thing.
well, what if to your idea, like the two things that could happen that I think would be cool visually at least is that the pillar kind of has a like red light seeping out from the base of it, and that there's writing, obviously something we can't decipher,
Sure.
that's like pulsing, off and on. But the pillar itself is like, even though it looks like it should be thrust into magma, is stone cold to the touch.
Yeah,
Mm.
let's go with that, because we would go up and investigate that and not figure it out, and then at some point it stops, or is it going to continue?
Ooh, it stops when you touch it for some reason.
Stops because I'm the lucky one.
Do you make any? Do you do like with the Iron Priests? Do you swear any vows upon it as you come approach it, or?
I don't think I'd make any vows, but I would be looking at the writing
Hmm.
and trying to think if I'd understood it, and trying to maybe trace it, trying to memorize it, kind of thing. And then saying it looks like it's hot, but I'm not feeling any heat, and then sort of reach out towards it,
Yeah,
going,
I
no,
think
it's not hot at all. And then the second I touch it, like you said, it just powers down.
we'll come back to that, whatever that means later.
We don't know what it means.
Okay, perfect. Now we just added an ominous something to Jeff. Have you been cursed? Have you been blessed? We don't really know. Um, at this
No idea,
point,
but I'm not camping here.
that's actually what I was going to ask. I was like, I mean, seems like a good place to camp. Do you want to try to progress our journey even more from here?
I think we should.
Okay. So why don't you roll this time? Because I'm over 2.
Okay, so progress the journey is wits.
Plus
Why is so many?
wits.
Why is so many things wits, and I don't get any other plus?
I think what is your dude asset? The
I have. Oh wait, I have Slayer. I think I get a +1 if I'm tracking a horror.
no, what you have undertake a journey when you do farsing with your hawk.
Okay. Okay, so I'll have a +2.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Just want to make sure I'm getting my dice pool right. It is a weak success. I got a 6, or yeah, I got a 6 on my
Hmm.
dice, and the D10s were a 3 and a 9. So I beat the 3 and missed the 9. And we're rolling a
Okay.
lot of 9s and 10s. Those are rough.
Ooh, it's okay though. I mean, we'll get there, right? We'll get there.
It
Move.
is a weak
So
success, though.
undertake a journey. So we were waylaid by a perilous event. Jeff was cursed. On yours, you reach the waypoint. Mark progress. So we'll add 3 progress to our follow the bonewalkers, and we will take -1 supply.
-1 supply, so we're down to 2.
Yeah. So I'm not sure people. I think looking at that, I'm not sure. I think people would want something more terrible to have happened to us than the column, but it's our story. Whatever.
It's
Moving.
our story.
Pay
It's
the price.
weird. I don't
Jeff was
know. I could
cursed.
be. I could be. I don't know.
Flesh-eating
I don't know
bacteria.
what happened.
I was watching an episode of or a clip of The Good Doctor, and it was just he's kind of making a diagnosis on the spot, and she's like, she shouldn't feel any pain in her fingers. I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but
It's the
uh
it's the boat doctor, the cruise ship doctor, right?
The Good Doctor. Mm-mm. No, it's the
Oh, the good
doctor that
doctor's. Oh no, that's the kid.
the yeah,
That's
he's on the spectrum or something like that, and
yeah, yeah.
has
Okay, yes.
yeah,
I have
and
not
he's
watched it. I am aware that it exists.
yeah. Well, so the clip is basically like, she's just like, oh, I have pain in my finger. She's and of course he's just like, oh, you should not have pain in your finger. And the one doctor is like, oh, it's probably just tendonitis or something like that. And he's just like, or it's a flesh eating bacteria, and she should have her finger removed. And then and it's a sad, it's obviously a sad progression, because obviously the 2 doctors are trying to discuss like bedside care, and he has like no filters, and she's trying to soften the blow, and ultimately the lady loses her arm because it is a flesh eating bacteria,
Oh,
which is
jeez,
which is
that's awful.
insane. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
insane.
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's where the flesh eating bacteria comment came from. YouTube clips. So
Okay.
um, okay, so we reach a waypoint, mark progress, doesn't show anything. Doesn't really say that you can um okay. So and I think it's fine. Do you think that we need to make camp and all that kind of stuff as we transverse this way, or do you think it's just as we travel through the countryside, we undertake journeys as we go through our waypoint to get to the destination?
I think we probably maybe should make camp
Okay. Just every
and
time
maybe
we bust out.
try to gather,
Okay. So resupply and
resupply.
make camp.
All
All
right,
right.
I'm going to resupply or attempt to.
Okay.
I failed. I got a 5 and rolled a 7 and a 6. So we did not resupply. So what does a resupply failure mean?
You pay the price.
My hawk died. We starved to death.
Maybe. So why don't you
We
go
got
ahead and
attacked by.
roll? I mean, if you think the hawk is dead and that's the most obvious choice, I mean, that could be, but you could just roll the pay the price oracle and see if we can
Yeah, what's the pay the
decipher
price? What do I got to roll for that?
D100.
D100.
Yeah, man, we're just 2 left feet today. When it comes to the dice rolls, the fiction has been fairly interesting, though.
1D100 coming up.
Okay, so you either have
38.
a 38 or you have an 83. The 38 is the most unhelpful oracle. A 33 to 41 shows that that is the current situation worsens.
We find out that some of the supply had, rotted. I don't know. Or the bonewalkers find us again.
Or
I do have, like, I do suddenly get struck with a fever from touching the pole. It sounds like you had an idea.
so I think that there's since it's a supply one or
Yep.
whatever it is. I mean, ultimately, I feel like there's 2 things that could obviously happen because at the first part, you pretty much don't get any supply, right? You
Right.
find nothing helpful, and then you pay the price. Our situation worsens. So by rolling that oracle, I feel like there's a chance that we we ate either our supply, we lose a supply. I mean, I feel like because we're going to make camp, we're going to lose supply anyways. So what is something that could be a um I feel like this could be a situation where maybe if our supply is not good, then we could have an endure harm move where we basically get sick from our bad food. Um,
Yeah, that's possible.
and so, like, if you want to go that route, first of all, let's make our camp move, and then we can.
All right, why don't you make the camp roll?
Yeah, let's make our camp move, and then we'll see what poisonous food we eat. I found some berries. We should eat
These
these.
berries look good.
Hmm.
That means they're always good, right? I saw some birds eating them.
Yeah. We're just. Oh, good. Well, at least from the make camp part, we recuperate and whatever it is. So you could recuperate, or you have your recuperate, partake, relax, focus, and prepare. So I think I'm going to take a focus, and I'm going to prepare for our next.
I'm gonna recuperate, and I guess I'm gonna focus.
Okay.
Get a point.
All right. So now let's talk about this bad food that we ate. So apparently, as we in the rabbit that we ate had worms or something like that. Something has attacked our gastrointestinal tracts.
Yes.
That sounds like a fun way to go. And so there is an endure harm move, and it says when you face physical damage, suffer a minus health equal to your foe's rank. Blah 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 blah. So if you fail to defend against an attack, suffer an injury, or stricken with a disease or sickness, or bear the brunt of arduous action, make this move. When you are forced to pay the price, you should endure harm if physical damage is an obvious and dramatic choice of the current situation. Seems like it.
Yeah, seems like it. So what stat do we roll that with? And do we each have to roll it?
So you would roll plus health or plus iron, whichever is higher. And it's up to you. I mean, I feel like if we're
health's at
eating
plus 5, health is at 5 right now. So let's roll it at plus 5.
Basically, gave ourselves the shits. Perfect.
I got an 8 against a 4 and a 1, so that is a success. You got an 11 against a 6 and a 10. Show off.
Oh, thank God. I guess I think.
So you're saying the trots for a couple of hours and maybe some light vomiting.
Mm-hmm. Just to throw it in there, and obviously there's a part of me that looks at you and is like curious if you've brought a curse upon us, because basically the evening that we camp after you find this iron pillar in the the waste, we're all of a sudden like blah, starting to puke up stuff.
Yeah, the pillar isn't going to make us sick like that. It would have to be magical, and magic is the stuff of legends. I'd say it's more likely it was that scrawny rabbit last night.
Well, not like meta speaking. What if it was radiation? What if there's a little cesium in that was coming back to us? Little cesium, uranium, plutonium. I mean, this is an unknown thing. Who knows?
Somebody was planting dirty bombs around this land and pillars.
What if it was a great terraforming project and these are just the unexploded ordnance? Okay, I really don't know, man.
I don't either.
You hit the stopped timer button as
you can say that it's the pillar, but I will argue with you that it's not. That doesn't make me right just because I don't.
Well, we have a rough night no matter what.
Yes, I don't think we're super well rested the next day.
No. And I think at this point we probably are getting on each other's nerves. I mean, nothing is going right. You're on a quest for your sword. We're not getting the Abyssal Harpoon. I feel like the friendship is strained.
Oh no, we're not talking at this point.
Just that kind of like we're just grunting together.
We're at the part of the family vacation with the sharp verbal jabs. With the really short staccato responses.
Because nothing's going well, and obviously we blame each other for it.
Or the gods, or the land, or the curse of the Leviathan. We're blaming everything. I mean, that's how I feel my character is doing. I'm pissing and moaning and groaning, and
you're just a killjoy. Is really
woe is me, and I lost my sword on top of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that, you're I can see you going, I can't believe you talked me into this.
Wow.
There was a whole village full of people that I could have been friends with, and I picked you, and now I'm here. Dumb moany stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Because it doesn't feel like much is going right since we crossed into the
No. Basically, as we said, the gods don't like oathbreakers. Okay.
Apparently they don't.
So we got 3. We got 3 so far progress on that. I think we pack up mostly in silence as our two wanderers, like whatever there is to pack up our basic light kits and the clothes we have on our back.
Because we're too deep now to stop. Unless somebody brings it up. Unless you're so fed up that you bring up, I think we should just head west.
Okay. Let's continue our journey to find these bonewalkers and possibly your sword.
How many successes do we need on a troublesome journey
Remember, it's not so many how many
before
successes
we
you
before we
need,
can
but
roll it?
you don't you could do it like at the first time. You
Okay.
just you basically anytime you're ready to do a reach destination move. So then you roll your challenge dice, and if your challenge dice are less than your progress for
That's right.
your
That's right.
whatever,
Okay. Yeah. Let's
then you
journey.
achieve.
Let's try to track these guys.
Okay, we continue our tracking. Um,
It's a weak success.
Weak success. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. So that means as we progress, we get 3 more. Um, we lose some supply. We get to progress. So now we have a total of 6 um, squares filled in.
And 1 supply left.
Yep. So I think there's a chance 2 supply, unless you.
Oh, I thought maybe I took off an extra one. I think I took off an extra one. Because we were at 4. We got back up to 4 the last time we resupplied.
Yeah, because you took off.
Well, I
You
failed the
recuperate.
last resupply. I recuperated to take it to 3.
But you didn't have to. You didn't have to partake, so we didn't have to lose an extra. So we were up to 4. You lost the one for the partake.
Right.
Oh no, then we were down to 2 because when we rolled the travel, you had to. Yep. So now we're down to
Yeah.
1. Why?
So
You're
okay,
right.
we're down to 1. Okay.
Mhm.
It's these weak successes.
They are.
They're not
So I
helping.
think when we make camp, I think it'll be up to you to find food because
Resupply again.
yeah, you'll need to resupply. That'll be important here.
All right. I will try to resupply. This should be interesting.
Okay. Yeah, you
I
got
got
it.
an 8 against a 6 and a 2, so we get 2 supply, right?
That is 2. You bolster your resources, take 2 supplies. So how
We're up to
exactly do
3.
you and your hawk hunt for things? Because I mean, that's pretty much what you're doing right now. Is
Yeah, no,
you?
I talk to him and tell him that we're hunting, and I think he goes up and spots something and circles,
Mhm.
and I head in that direction. And when it's close, we probably, tag team. He dives
Mhm.
for one. I throw the spear, try to get whatever
Basically,
we can get.
get your small game and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got 2 supply out of the deal, so that puts us at 3, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. So let's roll to make camp, and let's see how successful I do.
Make camp.
Oh, success. So I think our conditions are better. You've got some fresh meat. We're able to make. I kind of envision us finding a small creek. Like a little bit of water that we can use to put together a more filling soup and warm the bones. Like based on how our travels are going so far, it seems like we've encountered a place that has stuff that is going to make camping more enjoyable for tonight at least.
Sure.
We have some stuff we can use to kind of soften our place to sleep. We can keep a fire going rather easily. We've got the soup in our bellies that help keep us warm through the night. And I think what we'll probably need to do
All right.
is improvise, some, get blankets and all those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Like we pretty much are doing our best given that we should be freezing to death.
I don't know that we should be freezing to death.
Just imagine us having to be very
I'm
cautious with how we
I'm gonna
build our camp.
focus and take a momentum for one of my camp.
Okay. I'm also going to take a momentum for this,
And then I
and
think I'm gonna prepare to get an extra +1
okay,
for an undertake. Well, no, only one of us needs to do that. So if you're gonna roll the undertake a journey roll tomorrow,
sure.
you should take the +1, and How high can spirit go? Is it capped at 5?
As far as I know, yeah.
And I can't take the same thing twice.
No, so I'd imagine that you wouldn't need to take 2 if you didn't have to, right?
Yeah, no. If spirits, I'm at 5 spirit, 5 health. So, um, there's no reason to recuperate or partake or relax. I already focused, and I can't take it twice. So I guess I'll prepare as well.
Okay.
Doesn't really help, but
Yeah. Or you can just
mechanically,
recoup.
that's what I do.
Narratively, you could say you're recuperating. You know, you and your hawk are enjoying some time together, feeding him for a job well done, or her, or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So undertake the next journey. So that would. Okay.
Let's go.
1d6 plus. And what was my ability with Wild Blood?
Oh,
Gather
are you going to get a
information.
plus? Oh,
No, it's just for
you
gather
get a plus
information.
3. Okay.
Yeah, +3. Yeah, 7, and I rolled a 6 and a 4. Woo!
Nice. Good job.
So in this case, we undertake the journey. We get we mark progress. So I think I'm okay with that. And so basically it seems like we had a good turn of it yesterday. What I feel this means is that, as you were out hunting with your hawk, I was doing the proper preparations, getting a camp done and everything like that. I was able to, the grounds haven't been made slick with rain or snow or anything like that. And it seems like whatever tracks we're following to keep on top of these bone walkers, we found again, meaning that, we're able to make kind of good time and follow them. I would pose the question of how many tracks of bone walkers are we following? That would be an interesting question. But I think that we've got ourselves where I think today we can reach our destination. What do you say?
Yeah, I think we can because it was a strong hit, so we should reach a waypoint, right?
Yeah, so we're basically at this point we have 9 progress. So reach a destination would basically mean you would roll the 2 challenge dice, 2d10, and
All right.
yeah.
Just 2d10 and compare it against the 9 that we have.
Yeah. So
2 and a 3. So we have reached our destination. We have found the bone walkers.
Okay. So on a strong hit, you arrive at your destination and are well positioned for success. This should be reflected in the mechanical benefit offered by the move, but also how you envision your arrival. If this has been a long, arduous, make this moment feel rewarding. It feels pretty fucking rewarding. Like we actually found the bone walkers we were looking for, right?
Yeah. No. Suddenly we're best friends again.
So like as we crest a hill, all of a sudden we notice something. What would be like? So, what do you envision we stumble upon when we come to these bone walkers? Is it like kind of comical, and there's some like kind of a like what is that word I'm looking for? Like it's basically they're a mockery of life, and they have like a camp, and they're just like making the motions around a camp or something like that, but they're dead. Are they a facsimile, I guess, of life?
Yeah, like bone
Or
walkers shouldn't need to sleep, right? Do they just are they like zombies? Do they just stop and stand in place
what
until they get?
if what if it took him back to one of the villages that we had settled but was raised by the Varu?
That could be, yeah.
Okay. So I think that's a good backdrop. So we kind of stumble upon the wreckage of an old village that was kind of left both as a warning and a testament of the Varu, right? Warning, do
Yeah.
not settle in our lands, and also we are strong enough to crush you underfoot. But now it's inhabited by bone walkers.
Yuck.
And
I don't know if I want all the bone walkers.
well, I'm not saying all of them, but maybe but why would there be some bone walkers here? I'm always curious about that. Do you think there's a greater horror or something like that that's taken nest in this place and its evil is seeping into the ground and causing the dead to rise, and we're kind of at the beginning of this process? Or do you think there's something else happening? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I something definitely made them rise, and I mean, I think it's here because this is where they were, revived from. Like, I think they return here when they're
Hmm.
not compelled to do something else, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
It does. It does.
Um,
But the why is always an interesting question for me.
is it an evil wizard? Is it a good wizard doing evil?
Well,
Like raising
I
the
mean,
dead seems not good.
it doesn't seem good. Like, I mean, it really just it could be at this point. We stumble upon the village, and we basically see a large cauldron and a Varu, saying "boil, boil, toil and trouble" or whatever. The witch's brew kind of thing. And we find out that this is an exile from the village who's now seeking revenge because you know, like we got Scar from the Lion King, right? He's just like, it will be mine,
Yeah, no, because we left him.
you know.
We thought
Um,
everybody was dead, but they weren't. So now they've been fighting their guerrilla warfare against the Varu.
it could, like it could be a Varu, it could be one of our people who's stumbled upon some dark and ancient magics. Maybe that they channeled through the obelisk. Maybe a fucking
Maybe they
you
could
know
be tied together.
a dream came to them, and they figured out how they could fight back, and now they hate us because we abandoned them in these strange lands.
No, I like
And
that. I like that it could be, like somebody's ancient forebear.
or is that person also dead, or are they alive? Like,
They
you know
could
what I'm
be
saying?
really
Like,
old, but yeah, maybe the magic has preserved them.
let's see, what foes do we have? Horrors. What is a haunt? Oh, a haunt is a restless spirit bound to this world by traumatic or unjust death. Okay, a haunt who's manifested a physical being can be dispelled by overcoming them in a fight, but only temporarily. They will only be at peace when their death is avenged or resolved. Some say a haunt can be banished through a ritual, but few possess the knowledge.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if there's much we could do with a haunt other than dispel it for a while.
Long enough to get an abyssal spear. That's terrible. Okay, what do we have? A sun is no, no, no.
Make the elves the bad guys. Like an elven necromancer loose in the Varu lands.
Could be. I don't know. I mean, it feels like if it, well, okay. I mean, based on how this is written, the elves seem kind of dickish, so it could be. Um, hmm. This might be something to think about. But so so let's lay our cards on the table and just see what we're thinking here. So first option is we get to this village, we find out that it's another horror that is doing this. Somehow a horror that's kind of elevated. I'm thinking, I mean, a hollow seems not a hollow, but a haunt seems like the right type of creature. Somebody
Okay.
that just, somebody with that wants to extract vengeance um, on the Varu, and obviously us as well. Um, so that seems like an option.
It
Number
does.
two is an elf, right? So like basically it could be an like kind of a war between the elves and or at least a conflict between the elves and the Varu, and the elf is causing some sort of mischief using magic that seems kind of unelfy, though.
It does seem a little unelfy. It honestly
So
doesn't seem like any of the what are they called? The old ones?
the firstborn.
Firstborn.
Yeah, it seems a little less like the the elves. Now, the Varu, on the other hand, I mean, I do think that there's a possibility that there's an interfactional warfare with the Varu, and this could be someone that was expelled who's seeking some vengeance. This could be, I mean, because if we did that route, then we find this Varu who's fucking making all kinds of trouble, and they don't attack us on sight. Then it presents us with another interesting choice that we say, "Oh, hey, hello, Varu. We need the spear back. I'll help you get your spear if you help cement my legacy."
Yeah, I don't know if I want to work for the bad guy.
I'm just saying is that it
I
presents.
know
I think
the Varus seem more like hunters to me than, I don't know.
I mean they probably are hunters, but I mean it could be a shaman. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah, sure. No, sure. They got to have.
some sort of religious leader or something like that that was ousted due to politics or because they're just a bad person.
Or maybe they
Like,
started interacting with the pillar. I don't know where they got their magic from.
yeah, they started interacting with the pillar and they were given visions, grand visions that they could follow, and you know.
Hmm.
So which, and if you're not sure, we can choose. We can do uh, we can narrow it down to two options and kind of go from there. And then the third option would be is it's just basically where they were in life. They came back here and there's no real deeper meaning, and it's just literally a handful of bone walkers that have congregated at this location. You know.
I like the idea that there's something bigger, but it feels like maybe we're just complicating to complicate. That it's just like maybe there's just a bone walker. I don't even know if it needs to be a shaman. I don't know if here in the village we know what raised, you know, the bone walkers. Maybe it was just the way they died, feeling betrayed.
Mm-hmm. And how many were there? Is it an entire village of bone walkers? Is it
Well, I don't know. 3 of them almost killed us last time.
so 20, 30, you think?
Yeah, that would definitely kill us.
We have a mechanical advantage here, so we have to go into this being smart.
We do. No,
If
we
we
do. You're right.
if we had what is it? What did Ash have from Army of Darkness? Like a car with a propeller on the end of it.
Yeah, there we go.
That would be one way to take care of this.
Yeah. He also had a boomstick that we don't have.
True. So maybe what we do is we turn this into well, let's let the dice decide. What do you think? Let's see here. If we were to set up our D100 as a lot, not as many as a lot, but a lot more than we are comfortable with, 10, 6, 3, do you want to roll a dice to kind of establish how fucked up this village is?
So it's 10 on 91 to 100, 9 on 81 to 90, that kind of thing.
I just say roll a D20 and just see what happens.
D20?
Mm-hmm. And I do like the idea that they're like just a
I think 20
facsimile
is
of life.
obnoxious.
Holy fuck.
17.
17 bone walkers. But I think that if you put them in this kind of facsimile of life, it doesn't make them as intimidating, right? They're just these things going back through the motions that they did when they were alive, right? And we probably just encountered a hunting party.
Probably.
So, narratively speaking, we crest the hill. We come upon this ruined, burned out village that's, nothing but wreckage. As we gaze through trying to, understand why the tracks led us here, we start seeing things that pique our interest. We see bone walkers, conducting the motion of putting out laundry to dry, pretending to skin, beasts that they caught on the hunt. stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And we see just kind of this facsimile of life as it would have happened before they were brutally murdered. Kind of almost a mockery of what it should be. This happy place where people were trying to exist in the hinterlands, but instead it is this macabre theater of death. There we go. Dun 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 for next week.
Yes. We'll have to strategize for next week.
Okay. And then we fucking ninja master this where we go around like yoink, bones, crack, 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 crack. And then maybe we get a stronger sense of whether there's something greater or deeper that's caused this to happen, or if it's just people were so fucking depressed about getting killed the way that they did that they
Fair.
just came back. So
fair.
All righty. Well, that's it for this week. We hope everybody's enjoying our meandering through the game of Ironsworn. It probably goes a lot faster when you're not trying to explain everything that you do, but it's been a crazy trip so far. We've found
fun. I'm having fun.
I am too. I'm having a lot more fun with this than I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but I thought it would just be so confusing trying to do a cooperative that hopefully this is how it should go to some way. I mean, fuck it. We're having enough fun with it that this is how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Unknowingly.
It feels to an extent like with the rolls and the oracles and stuff that it's a little bit more about the journey than the finish.
Yeah.
Because we may never finish the task that we set out to do in any
we'd
sort
have
of
to start
reasonable
playing
timeline.
We'd have to start playing 4-hour sessions, I think.
Or get a lot of good rolls so we can quit getting sidetracked or plot twisted out of.
We definitely chose the 1 to 20 campaign.
We did, yeah. Too bad we're not leveling.
And we get back. We're finally back after weeks of travel and all that, and our village is just
25 years. There's no village there. They moved on because the Leviathan chased them out. The last fisherman is just there holding vigil for what he thinks is our graves. Like, oh, we thought you had died. We almost died several times. Okay. But we appreciate everybody that's made it to this point. Obviously, if you've played Ironsworn and you want to give us some advice as to how your games go and what you found really works, let us know. We're keeping much better notes, just kind of making sure that we have all the details of our journey and everything like that. And debating right now, kind of writing up the journey more narratively, so it's not all the ups and downs and all that kind of stuff. But I think it could be fun to kind of see how the story plays out in kind of a written form. Yes.
And of course, So if you like it, hit us a like. If you want to see more, give us a subscription, all that stuff. And Jeff, you want to send us off into the wild blue?
Yeah. Roll well, roll wise. Be safe out there.
See
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.